You know, everyone is talking about building the next great AI model. But there's this huge, expensive secret hiding in plain sight. The real challenge, it isn't building the AI. It's actually getting it out of the lab and into the real world without, breaking everything. So let's dive into this hidden crisis of AI deployment.
Okay, take a look at this number, 70%. Just let that sink in for a second. And look, this isn't just some abstract metric. This number represents a massive, silent failure that's happening in companies all over the world, and it is costing them millions. That's right, 7 out of every 10 AI projects, after all that money is spent on development, they just never go live. And here's the crazy part. It's not because the models are bad. It's because the bridge between the AI lab and the live business environment just completely falls apart.
So this is the big question, right? The one every tech leader is asking. You've invested all this time and money into the intelligence, but how do you actually put it to work? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why this is so tough and, more importantly, how the best are actually solving it.
All right, first up, the AI deployment crisis. This brings us to a place the industry has affectionately nicknamed deployment hell. At its core, the problem is really a collision of two completely different worlds. You've got these brilliant, cutting-edge neural networks trying to plug into these fragile, often 15-year-old corporate systems. And, well, the results can be pretty catastrophic.
And that brings us to how we even got here in the first place. To really get our heads around the solution, we have to understand the problem's history. The path to our current AI boom is, frankly, littered with a lot of well-intentioned failures, and each one taught us a pretty critical lesson.
You can really see this evolution in 3 distinct stages. Between, say, 2018 and 2022, we were in the local host era. A model would work perfectly on a developer's laptop, but the second you tried to move it to a real server, it would just instantly break. We called it dependency hell. Then, around 2023, the cloud-only era hit. Everyone rushed to the big public clouds, which seemed like the perfect answer until industries like healthcare and finance realized they were creating huge data privacy and sovereignty violations. And that has led us to where we are right now, entering the era of hybrid architecture.
This quote just absolutely nails it. Legacy IT infrastructure was not built to handle the real-time data flow, computational demands, or continuous updates required by modern neural networks. It's kind of like trying to put a Formula One engine inside a horse and buggy. It's just a fundamental mismatch of technology.
So how in the world do you fix a mismatch like that? Well, that brings us to the modern solution, the new hybrid approach. It's built from the ground up to solve the 3 things that enterprises care about most: security, data sovereignty, and of course, seamless integration.
This really lays out the 2 big choices that businesses have. On one side, you've got the public cloud. The problem is, you often give up control over where your data is and how it's secured, which is a total non-starter for regulated industries. But on the other side, on-premise deployment gives you absolute, total control, security that's tailored to you and is specifically designed to integrate with those older systems. Honestly, the best way to think about this hybrid solution is to picture it as a kind of universal translator. It creates this really sophisticated middle layer that lets the brand new AI speak the language of your old, reliable databases. And it does it safely and efficiently, without either side having to completely change who they are.
So let's get into the specifics. How is this hybrid approach actually put into practice? Well, that's where platforms like the NeuroStack deployment engine come in. You can think of it as the central nervous system for your entire AI operation, connecting everything together intelligently. The brain of this system is something called medulla AI orchestration. See, most companies have their data scattered across dozens, sometimes even hundreds of different apps. Medulla acts like a central hub, pulling all of that messy information together into a single, clean source of truth that your AI models can actually use.
Now here's something a lot of people forget. Once an AI is deployed, the work is not over. Models can get stale or kind of dumb over time if they aren't kept up to date. This is called model drift. The solution is something from the world of ML ops, or machine learning operations, called a CI/CD pipeline. Basically, it's an automated loop that constantly feeds, retrains, and refines your AI, which is absolutely crucial for protecting your investment.
Okay, for anyone in finance or healthcare, this is the most important part: privacy-first design. This architecture guarantees that your most sensitive customer data never, ever leaves your own servers. It's not being shipped off to some third-party cloud. This is how you ensure full data sovereignty and meet the strictest compliance rules out there, like HIPAA and GDPR.
So what does this all actually mean for your business?
Well, it means you can finally connect your AI to those old CRM and ERP systems. It means you can build the custom links they need to talk to each other. It means preventing system crashes when you get a huge spike in users. And it means designing an architecture that just grows with you automatically.
All right, this all sounds pretty powerful. I get it. But how does it actually get done? And the big question, what does it cost? That brings us to our final section, making it happen. Let's look at the checklist and the costs involved.
The pricing structure here is pretty straightforward. It's really designed for two different needs. You've got the SMB tier, which is perfect for smaller teams that need robust tools to get going. And then there's the enterprise tier, which is a fully custom solution for large organizations that need that full on-premise, high-security deployment we've been talking about.
And the path to get there is a really clear 5-step roadmap. It all starts with a tech stack audit, because you have to know where you are before you can figure out where you're going. Next up is MVP planning and prototyping, where you build a small-scale version to prove the concept works. Step 3 is the secure deployment itself. That's followed by some really critical security audits to make sure everything is locked down tight. And the final step is go live, with constant real-time monitoring to make sure everything runs perfectly.
So we'll end with this question for you to think about. You've built a powerful AI, but right now, is your company's infrastructure a launchpad ready to unleash its value across your entire business? Or is it a cage, just trapping all that potential in the lab? The difference between those two? Well, that's a successful deployment strategy.